Hello. Welcome along to the DLC of Extremely Casual Gamers podcast, a weekly podcast for the everyday gamer with Ellie, Chris, and Guy. Minus the Ellie, she is sick, so you've just got myself and Chris today. Yeah. But we'll all three of us be back for the main podcast, which is coming out later on this week. This is DLC, dedicated listener contribution. And this question comes in from Joshua Irwin. Thank you, Joshua, from our Extremely Casual group for Extremely Casual Gamers Facebook group. Has there been a game that you were really looking forward to coming out that was a complete letdown when it actually came out? And did you buy it despite its poor reviews? I really wanted to get The Walking Dead Destinies, but didn't buy it after hearing how it bombed in reviews and ratings.
See, this is why you've got to do the old Chris, wait 6 months for them to iron out the bugs, etc. Because to be honest, nowadays, I don't think so much that the game comes out and it's a letdown because the game sucks.
Yeah.
It's usually a letdown because it's been rushed out and it's a buggy mess.
I should have done this with Tales of the Shire.
You should have waited a wee bit.
I should have waited a little bit because it's still a buggy mess.
But that's just like, and they're a new developer, but that is just how video games are these days. Because everyone's consoles and PCs are connected to the internet, they know they can update them after release.
Yeah.
And also updates too can almost be a way of boosting player counts by being like, oh, brand new, huge new update just came in for Tales of the Shire. Oh, cool, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, this has happened to me. The very first time it happened though was, did you ever play Fable?
No, but I'm aware of the title.
Yeah, so Fable is like an RPG. It was on Xbox. This particular one was on Xbox 360. It was Fable 2.
Yeah.
And what was sold, and the guy who, I can't remember the name of is it Lionsgate maybe is the name of the development company. The guy who runs it was now famously known for massively over-promising and overhyping what you can do in the game.
Yeah.
And so it was like an open-world RPG where you play this character, classic sword, bow and arrow, I think, magic, whatever, classic RPG stuff. And you could, there were all these shops and you could actually buy the shop and take over the shop and like run it like your own little economy.
That's
and
cool.
All these things like that. Yeah. So all these really cool things. The thing I really was stoked about was the fact that it was a two-player RPG where, like Gears of War style, two of you sitting on the couch, both your characters are in this RPG world and you could do RPG stuff, but as two people, which is super fun.
That'd be awesome.
Amazing.
Why has nobody done a two-player RPG?
Well, exactly. Well, Fable 2 apparently was going to do it.
Oh, man.
And then I bought it day one. Maybe this is like trauma. This is where my always waited while.
This is the Genesis.
This is because I watched the trailers.
This is where the list started.
Yeah. I watched all the trailers for the game, people writing articles about how awesome it's going to be that you can do this.
Yeah.
The game came out. I bought it. Brought my PlayStation, my Xbox, I think it was 360, or maybe it was just, pretty sure it was 360. Maybe it was even PlayStation 2. I can't even remember. But brought it around to my mate's house. We got like pizza. This is in high school.
Oh, no.
Coke, bottles of Coke, chocolate bars, all the classic sleepover stuff. Sat down, ready to stay up till like 4 a.m. playing this thing.
Wow.
Opened up the game, really awesome. I made my character, got him ready to go. And then just into the world. And I was like, wait, how do we make your character?
Oh, no.
And it turns out you can't make a character for the second player. You just get given like a random standard character that can just hop in for certain bits to help with certain things.
That's so annoying.
And they can't actually do anything or help with the story in any way. And I was so gutted.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like we were both really gutted, mainly me because I'd bought it.
Yeah.
And I'd hyped it up to him and he was just like, oh, okay,
yeah,
cool.
this big night planned.
Yeah, which look, I'd love to repeat a night like that nowadays.
Yeah.
So that was the first huge letdown for me.
It's kind of like when Gran Turismo 7 came out a few years back.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, co-op mode. But you have to get co-op mode after playing a certain amount of the storylines. You have to grind for like an hour and a half to
get multiplayer mode.
Yeah, to get multiplayer mode, sorry. And then multiplayer mode, you can only race like a certain amount of cars and a certain amount of tracks. And it wasn't even that good.
No, that's the thing. Multiplayer mode was you had to unlock it by getting to a certain stage. I think level 9 or something.
Yeah.
Which was a few hours to achieve. And then you didn't have access to every single car. You could only access the cars which you had unlocked through the story.
Yeah.
Which is all pretty crap early doors. And there are no AI-controlled cars to race against.
That's right. You just race against your mate.
It sucks.
So dumb.
Whereas back in the day, Gran Turismo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they all had that in there.
Straight from the get-go, race all the tracks, race AI, race with all the cars.
Yeah.
That's what made it a great couch game to play.
And so to be honest, Gran Turismo 7 was a bit of a letdown when it first came out. I've since been slowly every now and then when I feel like racing.
Yeah.
Tap in. It's great. Graphics are amazing. But it hasn't hooked me yet.
No, absolutely not. Okay, so there's a few questions a few answers that came through. This one's from Cousin Beck. Starfield flashbacks.
Oh,
She
wow.
writes.
Yeah, Starfield was a letdown.
Yeah, she says, I shouldn't complain because it was on Game Pass, so I didn't technically buy it, but still, ugh.
That's the thing with Starfield is it's from Bethesda who, Oblivion, Skyrim,
Yeah.
Fallout, like they had this great thing and then all of a sudden they've just dropped off a cliff in their quality. So that's why 10 years ago, if you told me Bethesda's making a space game, I would be like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm buying an Xbox just to play it.
I felt it. I think I mentioned it on the podcast because I just now completely forgot about Starfield.
Yeah.
But when it was leading into launch,
Yeah.
I was obsessed with it. I was watching, early release footage of it. I was trying to figure out. I was like, I might buy an Xbox.
Yeah.
And then I didn't. And then it came out. And
Yeah, it was crap.
I was incredibly happy.
Not crap. Like anyone that loves that game, it's just it could have been so much better.
It wasn't what they
What they
wrote
said
on the
it was
box,
going to be. Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
This one's coming from, now we mentioned them last week on the podcast, and I still need confirmation whether or not it's their real name, but Sjolidblog, which I think is just Ross. Mass Effect Andromeda, all day, every day.
Yes.
Absolutely loved the first 3 games, and then
Yeah.
this comes out with a different team making it. I was hopeful, and like some parts, it wasn't even in the same league as the trilogy. Only time I'm put off by reviews is if it still needs heavy online support, which might be cut at any minute because of poor reviews and sales. A lot of people, not in this post, but a lot of people online say that Mass Effect Andromeda was just a massive letdown.
Massive, yes, it was. EA made that. Mass Effect, the franchise, so much love, like so many choices in the first 2. I believe the first 2 were the real
Mass Effect 2, I haven't played any of them, but
I've
Mass
played the
Effect 2
first one.
apparently was like amazing.
one of the groundbreaking games. And then this is classic EA trying to impress their shareholders or whatever.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, Mass Effect is a beloved franchise. Let's bring that back. People will definitely buy it and we'll just under-deliver with a shit product.
Totally.
So unfortunately, man, I hear you. I never got massively into the Mass Effects, but I know that let a lot of people down.
Sean Vandermeer, No Man's Sky, and Duke Nukem Forever. No Man's Sky is a big one.
That was a classic. Apparently, No Man's Sky rules now, like really cool now.
Yeah.
But that was rushed out the door once again
Such a
and
shame
overpromised.
when you hear that. Like, it's such a good game now, but everyone's like, no, I'm too burnt from the start. You know, like same with Cyberpunk. Nobody wanted to play it at the start. You've played it since it's been patched up and you loved the game.
Yeah, it was great, yeah.
But you try and convince somebody that, they're going to be like, I don't know. It's
Always
pretty
wait for the
buggy.
reviews, man. Always wait.
Thomas Edwards, I almost pre-ordered Skull and Bones. It had everything I wanted. God, the game came out, and well, happy to give it a miss. Funny that the developers were saying that it will be the first
quadruple
A title. Not
That's
one
right.
positive review. Other than that, I pre-ordered Sea of Thieves on PlayStation 5 after years of seeing clips of it on Xbox. I could not wait. Got a 4-man crew. Played it the moment it was released for about 2 hours, and then we all uninstalled it. It seems so pointless. You can't upgrade anything, so why bother spending hours finding treasure if you can't do anything with it? Cosmetics seem like a waste of time for me. Yeah, Sea of Thieves. I remember. How did I play it?
Has that been upgraded since? I feel like that game's been...
I think it has been because I know my brother played a lot. I think it was when I had an Xbox One.
Yeah.
I remember I played Sea of Thieves and because a lot of people were talking about it, and I was just like, I don't see the hype here, everybody.
Yeah. Shout out to Skull and Bones, by the way, who was made by Ubisoft, who are another shocker for doing that. Like the quadruple A thing, that was so crazy. Such a huge call.
Such a bold call.
Because like you think of some of the biggest games like God of War and Last of Us and stuff, those are triple A.
Yeah.
Skull and Bones is going to blow that shit out of the water. This is quad A.
Barely an A.
Yeah, exactly. Ridiculous. Lowercase A at best.
Yeah. Marco says, only game I've ever pre-ordered is No Man's Sky, and I decided to never pre-order anything ever again.
The only one he ever is like the one that
one of the
famously,
worst, yeah.
Wow.
But since last update, I got into it again and spent like 40 hours in it. It's good now, and now I'm kind of getting hyped for Light No Fire.
It must be the latest.
Yeah. But one thing I was really hyped for was Cyberpunk. And as I did not want to pre-order it, I missed the release, and glad I did, as it was a mess, and now I still haven't played it. But I plan to. And maybe unpopular opinion, but Horizon Zero Dawn, I felt it was very bland, as it did seem cool with the mecha dinos, but it felt like I'm playing Assassin's Creed. Same thing for last, I don't know how many title games.
I agree with Horizon. Horizon looks awesome and should be awesome, but something about it is boring to me. And I've clocked both of them.
Yeah.
And halfway, not even like a quarter of the way through, I'm like, I don't even know if I'm enjoying this, but I have to finish it.
Thing is with Horizon, they really sold it as you're facing these big mech dinosaurs, which you do. But I want to drop into that game straight away, and very soon I want to be fighting the big T-Rex, you know. But you don't come across Thunderjaw, right?
Yeah.
But like you don't come across those for a while, and if you do, you get absolutely clapped. So you're going up against these like robotic like sheep.
The Rams,
and stuff like that. You're like, okay, cool.
And it looks awesome, and the lore and the idea of it is awesome. It just there's something missing from it.
Yeah.
There's an important ingredient. I don't know what it is.
It needs giant mech suits for you to be in, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
But they're
Pacific
all tribal.
Rim vibes.
Pacific Rim, yeah, because that Pacific Rim vibes is gonna save Horizon.
The Rangi says Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 pre-ordered it. Such a letdown.
Yeah. See, this is just a classic, taking those classic franchises everyone loved and then milking them and then under-delivering. It sucks.
Dean Mahuda says there were a bunch, but I'm trying to distinguish my era and game era. The Division, that was fun, but it was hyped. It was hyped to use the drone, but they removed it right before release. Cyberpunk, but PS5 ran fine. It was just work was crazy, so I didn't play it. And also No Man's Sky.
Yeah, so it's a lot of those common names, especially Cyberpunk and No Man's Sky. They were
Kaichi says, remember Brute Force for the original Xbox?
I do not
remember that one. Alice, Wheel World, which came out this year. Loved its art style and overall vibe and had it on my wish list for ages. It was laggy as hell, which doesn't work well in a bike racing game. I persevered and finished it, but hope it gets the updates it desperately needs.
Yeah, right.
Polder says, Dying Light 2 was such a letdown after the crisp first game. Weapons felt like soggy noodles, and the buildings were so tall and far apart that parkour felt so linear.
Right.
And then Charlie Carr, I had my wife buy me No Man's Sky and got very bored very quickly. Haven't touched it since. There was also plenty of mediocre reviews of Tales of the Shire right after it came out, but I still bought it and have been enjoying it.
Yeah. It seems like Tales of the Shire takes a few hours to really sink its hooks into you. And I think in a year's time, it'll be really good.
No, man. Tales of the Shire has done a few updates since launch, but most of those bug fixes are for Nintendo Switch.
Right.
I don't think I've really come across any bugs per se so far. I just feel like the way that they set that game up, it wasn't. I feel like the way
it could be better.
It could have been better.
Yeah, right.
To get that loop
it might
going.
get better.
It might get better, but it's still a pretty fun game to play.
Yeah, right. Thank you so much for everyone contributing to this podcast, especially with DLC. Like if you go to our group, Extremely Casual Group for Extremely Casual Gamers, and you do have a question that you want to be featured on a DLC episode, bit more in-depth chat, chuck it in there, and you never know, it might make it for next week. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We'll see you on Thursday.
Bye.
Bye.